So the reason I record myself when I'm doing these discoveries is because that's the way Jesus taught. Okay? It's a reminder that we're all made in the image of God. There's nothing more glorious than the living human body. But I believe with all my heart that when Jesus spoke and when Jesus taught, he expected people to look at his face the whole time. And the spoken word was the most glorious, and it was certainly the most pleasurable for him to do. And I don't even think Jesus pulled out a whiteboard that often and wrote, you know, the words beside himself, or turns to a computer. It's like he expected people to look at his face the whole time and listen carefully to his spoken voice. Like, that is worship. The very definition, in my opinion, listening is the #1 love language. And then let's take it higher, careful, full attention listening. And there's nothing more like worship than full attention listening. Like, if someone is looking at me, giving me their full attention and listening to me, that is extreme honor, extreme respect, and it's worship. Okay? And that's what when Jesus taught, that is what he expected. He expected people to look at him. And so that's why I feel most comfortable simply recording my face talking while I'm doing this research and making these findings in the text. Okay? Like, we need to learn how to listen. It's unbelievable how impatient we are. It's disgusting. It's totally disgusting. So I'm looking at titles of Christ. This is so cool in modern math. He's the name, he's the Amen, he's the seed, he's the name, and he is the mean, using the same letters. This is so cool. So the mean in mathematics is the average. But literally, it's the number that's at the dead center in a set of numbers. Okay. Jesus is the Amen, which is the same letters as mean. Jesus is in the dead center of everything. It's like, and so that's why in math the mean is called what it is, and spelled what it is. Okay, the mean. Anagrams are very important. There's an anagram. Where's my anagram solver? So Jesus is the name, the seed, the mean, the Amen. A lion's mane. Like, it's just so easy once you know that Jesus is the, like, the lion's mane. That's like what makes the lion so intimidating, so glorious. And what does the mane accomplish? Well, it's very centralizing. It draws your eyes in. Like when you have a bunch of spokes come radiating out from a center point, it draws your eye into the center, like a spoked wheel draws your eye into the center. Well, that's what a lion's mane does. It just brings more glory. It's more centralizing. And so again, in the word mane, in Amen, the center, Jesus the center, the mean is the center. So what other words are anagrams with Amen? Mane, mean, name, Nema. What does Nema mean? Everyone wants a piece of every letter there is. And that's why God is sovereign over company names, inventions. The puzzle's getting filled in, and no one can use this. That's why we have trademarks, because no one is allowed to use the same name that someone already took in the sovereignty of God. It's God adding more and more names to the history books. Like Walmart, I'm sorry, that has been trademarked a long time ago. Like, God's already done with that trademark. It's growing, but it's like there's new babies being born all the time, and you have the opportunity to create new babies, and God will give you names for them. And so NEMA is defined as an abbreviation for the National Electrical Manufacturers Association. That sounds pretty important. Okay. I mean, it's the word Amen spelled backwards. That's pretty awesome. The National Electrical Manufacturers Association. Is that for the United States? Okay. Wikipedia has an article on NEMA, which is Amen spelled backwards. This is all for the glory of Christ. Apparently Jesus is well pleased with the National Electrical Manufacturers Association. What do? Well, let's look it up on Wikipedia, which equals truth, and read the truth. The National Electrical Manufacturers Association, Amen, defines standards used in North America. Just occurred to me that North America basically starts with the letters Amen, for various grades of electrical enclosures, typically used in industrial applications, with the goal of protecting right. So these are probably the guys that are the lords over the signage, like on the fences in front of electrical, like steel, like saying, you know, danger, electrical hazard, stay out. Okay, so they have ratings. All right. So there's people in charge of all right. All right, man. Sometimes we forget. Okay, that was cool. That's cool. Sometimes we forget the humble, responsible positions in this world. Okay, that's fine. All right. So cool. All right, let's keep going on titles of Christ. I'm about ready to take a break. Redeemer, Shiloh. Ooh, he himself is our high priest. I gotta get all these titles down. You just intercessor, all this stuff. I'm about to wrap up here. We've gotten some epic discoveries here. So intercessor is 145. Now we're just getting really high. Like we're getting really high in the numbers, which is really awesome. Oh yeah, let's wrap up with something like a simple word, like world. The world. Well, we know that world equals 72, the great 72. And we've been seeing a lot of 72s lately. What is a title? Here's your question now. What is a title of Christ that equals world? Well, first. Jesus is the first and the last. First equals world. Just like the word still and quiet and lover. Jesus is the lover of the world. And in fact, I see the strongest correlation mathematically between the title of Christ as lover and the word world. For God so loved the world. That would make God the lover. Well, who did God love? Well, the whole world of people. So world equals lover, and then just do the math. WD 27, OL 27. It's glaring. Isn't it amazing? Say someone loves the whole world. And if you are a believer in Christ, you are a son of God, you will be a lover, by the grace of God, of all people everywhere. This is crazy. This is the kind of love that we need everyone to be baptized in. Like, this is challenging stuff. I struggle with this, but we are all in growth. Like, it's not easy. Like, to be a lover of everyone. That takes supernatural power. That takes supernatural spirit, supernatural grace. That takes God living inside of us. Like, people that look nasty. People that smell nasty. People that look hideous. You know? What's amazing though, you gotta be yourself. Like, God, let's not beat ourselves up. God is the ultimate lover of everyone. In some ways, I think there's too much pressure put upon people to try and, you know, oh, I need to do something for someone else. Oh, I really do need to do something or give something to that person. It's like, if that person is worshiping God, God provides great... Anyways, let's just stick with the math here. Lover equals world, okay? Pretty obvious. The LOR equals the LOR, and then this is the most obvious part of all. The W differs from the V by 1 point, and the E differs from the D by 1 point. Like, this is glaring. Okay? Now the word first, there's a lot of parallelisms with that too. Christ is the first. And then origin, you can do similar things too. But above all, God is our lover. And that's the title of God most glaringly. Like, that is by far. Like, if you're to present someone with the letters world and say, what title of God, mathematically, is closest to the letters world, they have to say lover. There is no set of letters that is closer a match than that. The LOR equals the LOR. The V is 1 point less than a W, and then an E is 1 point higher than a D. Done. Lover equals world. God is the lover of the world. Who is the lover? God is the lover of the world. Okay? All sorts of people. It's amazing. All sorts of people calling upon other humans to try and get what they want. You have to address God first. Just say his name, God. Say his name, Jesus. Say any one of the titles of God, while knowing in your heart and in your mind that you are referencing, you are calling upon the invisible one. It's a state of mind. It's your beliefs. It's like, you know who you're trusting in. You know who you're calling upon. I'm not calling upon Sarah. I'm not calling upon Jackson. I'm not calling upon David, my friends in the human flesh. I am intellectually, spiritually calling upon the invisible God. And you can use any one of the titles of God: the invisible vine, the invisible first, the invisible one, the invisible Christ, the invisible last. But the main thing is, all of your trust is in the invisible God, Jesus Christ. Like, it's just so... It's like, who do you think about when you're in trouble? Who do you think about when you feel a need? Who do you think about when you have a problem? Who do you think about when an enemy comes at you? And I'll just keep thinking about God every single time. And you'll always win, because God slays your enemies. Saying, oh, we need to heal the world. You need to heal your own personal relationship with the lover of the world. You need to heal your own personal relationship with God. You need to spend more silent time alone with God, listening for his voice in prayer. And I mean it's all listening. Like, it's all you with your mouth shut, just waiting. Say, oh, we need to heal the world. No, you need to heal your relationship with the lover of the world. And it's all very personal, and it's all very practical for every single person to do. Oh, we need to heal the world. Stop saying that. It's like, you need to heal your personal relationship with God, and then God will heal the world for us. It's like, in fact, that is the definition of the healing of the world, is everyone's personal relationship with God healed. People underestimate just how much God would do for us if we just worshipped Jesus Christ. The Bible is full of stories where people just said, we're just going to worship God. We're just going to sing to the Lord. We're just going to worship God. And God did. God fought the battle. God took out the enemy. And the people just scooped up spoil that was so abundant they couldn't even carry it home. All because people adored God. And they, like silent prayer. It's so simple. It's free. Just be silent in whatever posture you feel like being, and wait for God to talk to you. That's worship. It's like, it's so easy. Everyone wants to sell a book. Everyone wants to make money off their sheep. Everyone wants to hose someone else. You're just like, this is disgusting. If you want something, ask God for it. And if it's really what you want, and what you really want the most, Father will give it to you. But if it's not really what you're looking for, He won't give it to you. And that's where you actually trust. It's like everyone whining, everyone... Enough. Okay, that's cool. Lover, world. What else? Earth, we solved. Hearts. Just for fun. What does planet Earth come to? It's just fun solving all these famous... Oh, planet Earth is 120. Well, what's a famous title of God that equals 120? The artist, the person, fortress, water of life, the shelter. Okay, it's fun just to show how God's personal names, which are unique to Him, take the glory for names of big things that He made, like, for example, universe equals the creator, equals the planner, equals the letter. Like, every letter of God comes together to make words, and but it's when you slow down and do a mathematical comparison between the math in the letters of the word universe and the math in the letters of the word creator, that you really get convinced of the mind of God in all of this. I could attempt to go for letter between the creator and universe. I don't know if it's fully achievable. I don't think. Well, it's starting to present itself. I'm just doing a quick. So let's do this here. Bump. Excuse me. I got to turn off that alarm clock. Uh, 9:02, quadruple AM. But so far I've bumped off the lowest value letters in universe. What's the next lowest one? And I don't think that one's going to fly. But if you pull off the offsets, yeah, okay, so there's that stuff here. You get the idea. It's pretty silly how there's certain things that are large in size, but they just don't last forever. Like human souls last longer than all inanimate objects. Well, it's like why people worship inanimate things is just so dumb. Or even the whole world. Like Jesus said that, he said, what good is it if you gain the whole world? Because all the mountains, like the entire earth, gets thrown out. But human souls do not get thrown out. They live forever, either in heaven or in hell, ultimately. The whole world. Okay. I'll just get a few more titles of Christ on the table. This is this is patient research. The mercy seat equals the fount equals the highest. The forerunner, Christ the forerunner. All sorts of titles. Lead. 1822. Mediator, daysman, interpreter, advocate. Christ our advocate. 71. Yeah, I don't even not even have these titles down here. Advocate, the Alpha. Advocate, the same. Okay. Jesus is a smart advocate. Okay, we'll take a break, I guess. Yeah, we'll be back. More to come.